my gosh, the dogs. Brr. Let's see. Do I have everything ready? I feel not ready. I guess I'm ready. I don't know why I feel not ready. I should be ready. I was ready last night, really.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Born ready.
Here we go. In three, resume. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, this is Dan Foley from Survivor Worlds Apart, and you're listening to The Morning Stream with Brian and Scott. Yeah. Is that it? Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Yes.
How much am I getting paid for this? These guys suck.
Bureaucratic bullshit.
The Morning Stream, the beast with a million eyes.
Why, just last week I had my entire car millionized, and it smells great.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It is the morning stream for Wednesday, November 15th, 2023. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett. Hi.
Oh, hello, Scott Johnson. How are you?
Good. I'm all right. It's a Wednesday. If you're a patron, you know all about why my morning was weird with dog poop and Brian's with cat pee. And,
That's right.
just another reason to subscribe to the show if you haven't done it already. Right?
Is that, maybe this isn't the day to entice them to become patrons to listen to the Poop and Pee Preshow.
Yeah.
The Poop and Pee Preshow.
I realize they don't sound like benefits, but...
No, but at least you know if we sound a little salty, you know why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm still irritated. But whatever. The thing's in the washer. It's being cleaned.
Yeah,
the carpet's
exactly.
fine. And the dog is outside doing whatever you do when a dog eats French fries. All right? Go out there. Get it done. She got into some fries she wasn't supposed to, which literally means she got up on the table, which she knows she's not allowed to do. So how tempting must be Burger King branded fries for dogs? There must be some chemical in there. I don't know. Anyway, may she live long and prosper. Let's move on. I found something that I just have to play because even though it's a little fear-mongery, I found a 1970s clip about the prediction about the computer age and where we're all headed. And I found it to be, while, again, a little fear-mongery, also kind of accurate.
Okay.
All right? So the people in the 70s, they sort of knew what was up. And I want to play it so you can hear it and we can talk about it. So check this out.
By the year 2000, computers will invade our privacy on a scale hardly imaginable. They will be interconnected, and unless prevented by new legislation, will be able to sell information on where we travel, how much we spend, and in what restaurants and hotels, whether and when we pay our bills, what our neighbors say about our drinking habits, what we do with our evenings, and with whom.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close.
That's pretty close. Yeah, no kidding. And,
I mean, the whole by 2000 thing didn't happen, but still, give us another 23 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not even that. Like 10 years after that, I think you were having cookies that were able to report back, and I mean, we've had cookies for longer than that, but like people that were selling your data and saying, okay, here are the websites he's looked at, and here's his eating and drinking habits and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, the
neighbors still don't know about my drinking habits.
No,
thank goodness. But,
no. But you're aware of theirs. That's the thing to remember.
I'm well aware of theirs.
Yeah.
Yes,
One in particular.
Telegram or Vine or something. What was it? Periscope. Periscope is aware of my drinking habits.
Oh yeah, Periscope and the head wound that we couldn't explain.
The head wound, yeah.
Massive Harry's head wound.
Massive Headwound Harry.
Headwound Harry.
But the best part of that clip is the music in the background.
Oh,
like the happiest, jauntiest guitar.
Yep. It's like the background dancers in like Laugh-In or something,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. I
even know
expect to see Goldie Hawn with stuff written all over her body going, doing the Batusi or something.
Yeah, they all got beehive haircuts.
Yep.
They look like the two singer ladies from B-52s.
Right.
That whole vibe.
Kate Pearson and Cindy Wilson, I believe, are the names you're looking for, Scott.
I just know them as the B-52 ladies. That's it.
Yeah.
Brian's going to always know the music names. I'm going to always call them something obscure or reference what they do.
But you're always going to know the years that the things came out.
That's right. Although I don't know if I could tell you. I'll say late 70s for B-52s, but I could be wrong. That's probably when they...
Yeah, their first, their debut album with Rock Lobster.
Yeah. 78, 79.
1979, I think.
79.
Yeah.
That sounds right. That was close.
Yeah.
I can get the window, usually. the years.
Yeah. You'd be
Anyway.
within 1 or 2 years either direction.
Yeah, but I mean, there are tons, and there's stuff in the 50s and 60s too. There's tons of these things, like people trying to predict where the computer revolution would go, and none of them get the phone part. It seems like they're all
Sure.
big consoles at home. Even there's one set in the 60s, or that they did in the 60s, that showed somebody shopping from their home. Basically Amazon, it's basically Amazon, but they didn't call it that, obviously. And then they would order it on a screen, and then it would show up in this box. And, there's a lot of weird little details that are wrong, but generally speaking, they got it right. But none of them get phones right. They never had us walking around with these little thin tablet
they
computers.
always thought they'd be corded. They said, well, how on earth are we going to have phones that don't have cords? That's crazy.
Yeah. And
Bizarre.
I guess we have both, but both is what I mean to say.
Both.
Not both with an L.
Both.
But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. And the guy's
That
just
is.
by the year 2000, we will not have any privacy. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, we're there. So,
Yeah.
way to go, Mr. Monger of Fear. Speaking of technology and the kind that Brian can't live without, you mentioned some episodes ago that CarPlay was a must for you, and any car selling something other that wouldn't work with CarPlay was a non-starter.
Yeah, it's a deal
right?
breaker. Yep.
Yeah, we talked about that.
That car is a non-starter.
We got alternatives from a listener. Let's see if it's worthy of what Brian wants in his life. All right, here you go.
Good morning stream. Just listen. It's Tuesday Halloween, but I'm listening to Monday's show, and you guys were talking quick about CarPlay or Android Auto for systems, and how much better it is than any system or any car system like Toyota Entune, what my car has, which is total crap. I bought a fancy thing called AutoCast, OTTOCAST. I know there's some other devices out there, but what's fantastic about it is it takes the it takes the Apple Play and switches it to Android Auto for me, and also makes my phone Bluetooth. So I can use the fancy thing, and it's fantastic if you have slightly older vehicles that aren't completely up to date. Anyway, love the show. Happy Halloween.
AutoPlay.
AutoPlay. Automan. OTTO play. Or AutoCast. I'm sorry.
AutoCast? Is that right?
OTTOCAST. Yeah, I'm looking at this thing right now. Pretty cool. Like,
Ooh, it looks like a Tron box. That's weird.
There's a little like polygon box looking thing. Yeah,
Weird.
It's weird how some of them look like a Ring thermostat, and some of them look like a Tron box.
Yeah, that's odd. Wait, let me close this big old thing in the way.
But no, this is cool. Yeah. So if I end up like really liking a car and it doesn't have CarPlay, then I could totally get one of these and make it work.
do what you want. It's like those old tapes you had to plug into your CD players.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Except, I mean, obviously it's more high tech, but I had one of those stupid tapes with a little 3.5 millimeter.
I still have
thing.
one in a box over there. I don't know why. Like, there's never going to be a time where it's like, well, I guess this car I'm looking at only has cassette.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a relic. Like, it's something that I don't know. I should almost seal in resin or something.
Should never get rid of it. Should have it forever. Yeah. Seal in resin. I like that.
Yeah.
I hate their website though. I went to the main page. It looks like a insert from a newspaper over the weekend or something.
Well, they're having their Black Friday deal, and the official colors of Black Friday are black, red, and white, and in your face, and all caps.
I don't love that. Not my favorite thing. It's fine.
No,
I get
it's
it,
not.
but
It's not.
I didn't realize it. So is that like a known thing? It's an official color scheme?
No.
Oh.
I'm kidding. But I mean, you're for the next week, you're going to get inundated with ads and emails and stuff like that, where the preponderance of red and black, or red and white on a black background, and all caps. Cyber Monday, they might introduce the color blue because that's the cyber color.
They kind of screwed up though. This is a font mistake. If you look at the main page, it looks like it says Black Sale Friday Deal.
It totally does.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bad placement of the word of the sales tag hanging off the K of black. So yeah, you're right. Black Sale Friday Deal.
Yeah, it's like that. The two notes next to each other. One says don't. One says don't. Oh, how does it go? It basically is like separately. The two sentences are self-help sentences, but if you run them together, they sound like they're the worst thing you could say to yourself. Can't remember what they are though. It's common. I don't know why I can't remember that. Anyway, thanks for that recommendation caller.
People are saying don't dead open inside. Yeah, from The Walking Dead, don't don't open dead inside, but it looks like don't dead open inside.
Oh, right. Don't dead. That's good advice.
Don't dead.
You know,
don't dead.
Don't dead.
Please.
Live.
Please don't dead.
Live. Don't die. All right, we're gonna get right into the game of the day. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We
Cool.
call this Dunaway Town. That's the new name.
Is that the official name of it? Dunaway Town.
Yep, we've made it official. I spent $50
Excellent.
at
Oh
the
yeah, I
courthouse.
see he's already logged into the game. Good job, Brian Dunaway.
Guess who
Well done.
isn't? Guess who's not logged in?
I know who's not. Why do you think I said it?
Yeah, I gotta get in there. I thought I did, and I didn't. All right, I'm getting in. While I do that, let's play this. Do. Hey, look who it is. Brian Dunaway joining us. Hi there.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. How are
Hey.
you today?
Good.
Groovy.
How's your dad doing? Is he good? Is he feeling good? Is he all right?
He's doing better. He has some procedures on Monday with a new pacemaker, and he is adjusting as you would expect when they dig around in your heart to stick new leads in it. Thanks, doctors.
Yeah, that's an intense bit of business going on there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
That's why we missed you on Monday, but
Yeah.
you were doing the good son stuff and taking care of dad, and that's good. Nothing wrong
Yeah,
with that.
as typically goes, as my parents get older, we deal with this, everybody, hopefully. They never tell me the real deal. So it was like Monday, I got a little procedure. If you could just drop me off at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be done by 8, 9 o'clock. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So 11 o'clock rolls around and you're still back there, and it's like, I'm missing. They didn't tell me how severe this was going to be. He went to defib during the process and all this other crap, and I'm like, thanks, Pa.
Yeah, you thought you were just going in for a quick little outpatient deal. It was supposed to be-
like a routine operation kind of thing.
Yeah. So there's two things. So just remember, when you're young and you have teenagers, they won't tell you anything, and then when your parents get old, they also won't tell you anything. You have to find out all the information yourself.
Yep. And you're going to be that one day. There'll be a day when one of your sons will be like, Dad, what's going on this weekend? You'll be like, oh, it's nothing. I'm just
no big deal.
having a small thing done, and then it turns out you're having your liver removed or whatever. I
Yeah,
guess you won't
it's no
want
big
that.
deal. I don't even need it.
Yeah, I don't need my liver. Who needs a liver? Well, anyway, it's good to have you here. Hey, Brian. I got to pull in a person. What am I thinking here?
Yeah, we need a player.
Yeah, let's see who we got.
What am I?
We have.
Jeez, got to pull in a person.
Well,
Let's
they
see
might
if-
need to help you in this case, Brian.
Okay.
I think we have somebody new. Let's see who this is. Is this someone? Yeah, I don't think we've had him on here before. This is somebody called Juniper, like juniper, but
Ooh,
Judah.
I like that name.
Yeah,
Juniper.
like a cat that named Judah. Let's see here. We can get him in here.
Like a cat named Judah?
We're,
Judah
Purr.
Purr. Judah
Purr. Get it? Purr.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, he's the one that'll sell you out if you're Jesus and then hang himself, and all his money will fall out of his pants. No, what was the deal with Judas? His guts fell out. That's what happened. He went and hung himself on a tree after he got busted for giving up Jesus, and he just shat all over the place or whatever, lost his intestines. Anyway, that's a fun
I
story.
had no idea. Really? Wow.
Christmas miracle.
I really need to read this Bible.
Yeah,
thing.
what is this Bible you're speaking
Right.
of? Hi, Judah. Is this Juniper with us? Hello?
Oh, your mic might not be on. You don't have them muted, right?
No mute.
How about mooted? You got a mooted?
I got
Muted?
them.
Do you have them muted?
They're on mute. Hello, Juniper. Are you there? Are you there? No, still not working. Just check your source. You
Now
may
I
have 'em-
see. Now I see the mute icon on them.
Yeah, that's them doing that.
Yeah, that's exactly
Testing. Hello. Are you there? They're probably your source in your audio settings is not the right one. If I had to guess.
Let's see. Oh, they're typing something.
Yeah.
Juniper says.
We're getting some typing.
Survey says.
Typing. Juniper typing. Not working.
Not working.
Says Juniper.
Okay.
Well, we tried. We'll do you next time. How about that? Let's
Sorry.
now add to
That's
the call.
that's what I always tell them. We'll
Yeah.
do you next time.
Yeah, we'll do you next time. The very next person in line was Mac Addict 89,
Excellent.
Oh, yes.
Which
Hello,
one?
Mac Addict.
which I'm going to assume it was his birth year. Hello, Mac Addict. Is this you?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, hi.
Good. How are you?
Oh, I hear
You
myself
can
on something.
mute the stream.
I don't think that's the stream because it's too quick.
No, that is my computer. Let me put in headphones.
There you go. Yeah, it was too fast.
Listener, please turn down your radio.
If that was the stream, that'd be some magical.
That'd be zero lag whatsoever.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Holy crap, Twitch and YouTube, you've upped your game. All right, Mac Addict, it's good to have you here.
Please mute your stream.
It's been a while since we've talked to you, so I'm happy to have you as our potential winner today. Brian Ibbett explain these rules and what he might win today.
All right. While he is muting his, I'm presuming his Mac, it's time to play the Tadpool Feud. I've surveyed the Tadpool on some nerdy topics, and Scott and Brian are going to have to predict the answers that they gave us. It's Scott and Brian's job to see how many of those answers they can guess. Mac Addict 89, your job is more important than ever because you're going to be working with either Scott or Brian, and if your team wins, you get a prize package. Oh, that includes Bendy and the Dark Revival and Pathologic 2. Yes, the two games we tried to give away on
both
Monday.
Those are great.
And the person who won them said, "Hey, I'm more into puzzle games. I'm probably not going to play these. Please re-gift them."
Oh,
to somebody else.
You missed out on Bendy. Bendy is an amazing. I love Bendy. That's a fun.
Bendy's great
game series.
Yeah, we did that on. We talked about that
game.
some on the old Boop show back in the day. Remember that?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Nice.
and Pathologic was the other one too. That was
Yes,
that was pretty good.
Too.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
both good games.
Well,
yeah.
I hope Mac Addict 89 is able to win those.
And
I also hope,
and
he's
I
able
believe
to
they're
fix his mic.
both. I believe they're both Mac compatible, if I remember correctly, because I think I had it on my Mac.
Look at that.
Nice. Look at that. Wow.
That's
cool.
That's fine. I have a gaming PC.
Yeah, you
Okay,
do.
good.
He may be.
Oh, sorry.
Look, he might be a Mac
Sorry,
addict.
Mac
but
addict.
He's a well-rounded citizen. Okay.
I guess I did I did assume your computer, didn't I? I apologize.
All the best people have both computers.
Oh, there
All
it
right,
is. there it is.
Let's get to it here. All right. It's time to put your hands on your buzzers. We asked 446 tadpoolers. 3 of them just shrugged. That's all they did. They just shrugged. Couldn't come up with anything. The other 443 gave their best answer to this. Name a famous brand rivalry. Scott.
Coke, Pepsi.
Show me Coke
that's
versus
the
Pepsi.
number one answer.
It is the number one answer. 226 people, more than half of the people that played that gave us an answer, gave us that answer. So
nice, rightly so.
We got that one off the board. Lowest hanging of the fruit. But that does mean that you have control of the board and you have control of Mac Addict 89.
Of course. Let me remotely control you and suggest Mac Addict 89 that we might try. I feel like Sega and Nintendo might be a good one. How do you feel about that?
That's a great one.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Sega versus
All right.
Nintendo.
Show me.
More like Nintendo.
Oh!
Show me Sega do what Nintendo don't. Yeah, number 3 answer on the board. Good job.
Mac
A tenth
Addict.
of the people said that one.
Wow.
A tenth of the people who had Coke versus Pepsi, I should say.
That Coke versus Pepsi really did run away with it.
It's super dominant, yeah.
Yeah, hard. It's the one people use as comparisons when talking about other rivalries. So
I think
makes sense.
so. Yep. The Cola Wars, the great Cola Wars of 1986.
Mac Addict. Any others jumping out at you?
What about Mac versus PC?
Oh, duh.
Oh,
I
wow.
knew it.
That's perfect. Yes, Mac versus PC. I'll bet
do you
it's
have a
number 2.
preference? Do you have a horse in that race?
No comment.
Nope, he does
all
not.
right. Show me Mac versus PC. Yeah, Apple
It's-
versus
It's
Microsoft.
not PC Addict, Ibbit.
I thought it
Jeez.
was going to be higher. That surprises me.
Yeah.
It's you know what? That war has lessened.
It has lessened, exactly.
They work with each other a lot more now, and they got I can get Office over here and I get Apple shit over there. It's kind of not nearly the war it used to be.
Exactly. So number 6, good points for you. That obviously helps you out a lot.
I'm going to say iOS versus Android. Let's stay in the same zone here.
Oh,
Sure.
That's good.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that
I
was
think
good.
I
that's
like
good.
my iPhone. I like my Samsung. Show me Apple versus Android. Yeah, number 4
Nice.
on the list.
Okay. Now
Oh,
we're
it's
right.
Apple versus the world, isn't it? Jeez.
Yeah. Well, when you got the world's largest market cap, you tend to have rivals. Okay, so now we're in the weeds. Mac Addict, anything else on your list?
Well, what about Xbox versus PlayStation?
Oh, that's a good. Yeah.
Oh,
you
that's
know
a
what?
good one.
Yeah, that's a modern redux of the Sega Nintendo thing. So let's do that. Let's, Sony versus Microsoft in that case.
Show me Xbox versus PlayStation.
Xbox.
It's a
Xbox.
Xbox.
Number 5 on the list. Scott running away with points here, 19.
Yeah, I'm
Obviously,
telling you.
not enough to lock it down for Mac Addict, but doing a heck of a job.
We'll see if this one helps. Let's do DC versus Marvel.
Oh,
Good one.
all right.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, DC. The DC Zombies game just got kickstarted. This Kickstarter launched from CMON. So if you want your own collection of figures you're never going to paint in the DC universe, now's the time to hop on that bandwagon. Show me Marvel versus DC.
Oh,
Number
wow.
9.
I think that ensures the close to ensuring
Number
the win.
Let's see, 27. Yeah, it totally does. Yeah, so
Oh, that's
regardless
good
of
though.
what happens, Mac Addict gets the prize.
I'm
but
sad for my loss. Very excited for Mac Addict.
Yeah.
I'm just sad that you haven't even gotten a chance to answer a single time yet.
You may get there now because
I
I'm
know.
in a bit of a rut. Mac Addict.
Oh, yeah, not took all the good ones, today.
Yeah, I took everything that was obvious. What do you, Mac Addict? Anything on your head? In your head? Not on there.
No, not really.
Let's do. How about this? Oh, is that a brand though? Hold on. Yeah, let's do Chevy versus Ford. That's big here in the States. Is it
Oh, that's a good one.
Truck owners and stuff. Yeah,
All right.
let's do that.
Ford versus Chevy. All right, show me Ford versus Chevy. Number
wow.
8.
Damn.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
Surprised by that.
By the way, Faisley wants to remind Brian Dunaway, spelled DONE-away. Sorry to bug you. Please remind Scott and Brian /Coverville to watch Reacher Season 2 this December after the game or somewhere in the mid. Thanks.
I love this guy now. I love him.
You do.
I was the first time I was like a little not annoyed, but just kind of like whatever. But now I want this every day. I want my daily reminders.
Exactly. I don't ever leave this chat.
That's really good. Okay, we can be a little frou-frou here. What if we said, because I think we have a lot of gamers in our midst. Hell,
Sure.
we give away games on this contest, so I'm gonna say maybe let's try Steam versus Epic, even though it's not much of a fight.
Ooh.
Not much of a
That's
fight, but I
interesting. Yeah, I
still
like
think
that.
it's a fun little rivalry.
All right. Okay. Show me Steam versus Epic.
Oh.
I'm even surprised to say that that didn't even come up in anybody's answer, amazingly enough.
You know why? Because Steam kicked their ass.
Because can't have a feud if
Yeah.
one of them is just steamrolls over the other one.
Yeah.
All right. Very
It's
good.
not. They just were too. They're too big, too long, too much. They just couldn't. I mean, they're still trying, but it's not.
Sure.
It's not working out. Anyway.
Sure.
Okay. Brian, it's your turn. You get to actually answer.
Yeah, you get a chance. 3 answers left on the board: number 2, number 7, and the big number 10. If you get all 3 of these, you still lose.
Look, if you get all 3 of them,
Number
you still
2
lose.
is still around. That's interesting.
No, no, it
Number
is
2 a
interesting.
biggie, yeah.
If you win, though, Brian, if you clear out the rest of these, if you get 2, 7, and 10, I will send you one of these stickers also. So you'll get a
Ooh.
Pac-Man
Wait,
sticker.
to Brian or to Mac Addict?
To Brian, although Mac Addict would probably get one too. But I'm trying to give these away, as you can tell, because I got a bunch of them and I got to start giving away.
Even if you don't get it, you'll probably get a sticker.
You'll,
All right.
You'll like it, though, because it's an old Pac-Man machine all beat
That
up.
is
You'll love it.
Super cool.
Ooh, I do like Pac-Man. Ooh, Pac-Man versus Cubert. No, how about I can't decide between how about Mickey D's versus the BK Lounge.
Oh my good Lord. All right.
There you go. The clown versus the king. All right, show me McDonald's versus Burger King.
Number 7.
Yeah, number 7.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't think about. I forgot about.
Now,
Yeah. I forgot about.
I've been
fast
listening
food.
to a really good podcast. I've learned all about Adidas versus Pumas, and it's been an amazing listen. But I don't think anyone's going to guess that. But I do think they may look at Nike versus Adidas.
Oh,
that's a pretty big rivalry when I was growing up. You had one or the other. You didn't. You didn't do both. You did. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I'm
'cause
going
here,
Nike.
Here it was Nike versus Reebok.
Puma?
Reebok was the big one. Yeah.
Reebok. Oh yeah, there was a while when Reebok moved into the second spot, but they slid down shortly after.
Sure. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's do it. Okay, show me. Any of the 4 of those shoe companies you guys just mentioned.
No, it doesn't matter, right?
Oh,
look at that.
Adidas versus Puma versus Nike versus Reebok.
Wow.
Yeah, we had so many.
There's an amazing podcast out right now about the Adidas versus Puma, and I didn't know they were both German and they were brothers and they had some kind of falling out. Really good podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Everybody there seemed to be all 4 iterations of the of those choices. Like, is Nike versus Adidas or Nike versus Puma? No, it's Puma versus Adidas. No, it's Nike versus Reebok.
Yeah, the shoe wars of the late '90s, late '80s, early '90s was something, man. It was
it really was.
I mean, today it's just I don't know what it is. It's way simmered down, but back then it was hardcore.
Yeah.
Simmer down now.
Yeah. All right, Dunaway. You got another one?
One answer left on the board. This is great. Let's see if we can sweep this thing.
My favorite rivalry that might be just below the Marvel versus DC is DC versus DC with Batman v Superman.
Oh,
I always like that.
Oh, are they a brand? Can you call I guess you could.
They should make a movie.
Yeah, they both
have as a title.
They got their own. They got their own merch.
Where did you hear that name, Brian? Where did you hear that name?
Yeah, starring Martha. All right, show me Batman versus Superman. Yeah, I like the thinking though. Very
I like
good.
it too. That's pretty good. All right, so this
not
is
even on the list. Not even nobody else said that, by the way.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I still like where your head went. All right, Mac Addict. Let's have a big finish here. We got number 10. Has anything seeped into your knowledge base since we last spoke, you and I?
I'm gonna steal from the chat.
Oh, you can do that. Sure. Why not?
Absolutely. The chat is the one who answered this question anyway, so you should definitely listen to them.
And earlier they had said Star Wars versus Star Trek, and that is really stuck.
Oh, that is a very good one. Pick a side.
Yeah.
Or you might die.
Yeah, or like it all like I do. I'll tell you what, though. I'm a little... If that's number 10, I'll be shocked because it seems like that should have been way higher for our group. But let's do it. Star Trek, Star Wars.
I agree.
Yeah. It's weird.
All right. Show me Star the Wars versus Star the Trek.
Oh,
look at that.
Clear.
Wow. Look at that. Cleared the board.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And, pretty good. Like, you guys cleared the board without more than 1 strike each, which is absolutely amazing.
That's really, really good.
Brian, you didn't even get a strike, Brian, did you?
Oh, I got 1 strike. I said Bat v Soups.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, that's right. You did. That's the sound you get when you clear the board.
Oh,
Nicely done.
great. That's a great sound.
Yeah. Who else did we, or what else did we have that we missed?
Yeah, let's tell you about the rest of the ones on the list. Metallica versus Megadeth. Oreo versus Hydrox. Left Twix versus right Twix.
What?
Budweiser versus Miller. Heinz versus Hunt's or French's. KFC versus Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A.
That's smart.
Dave Grohl versus Courtney Love. Okay, not quite a brand.
No.
Neither is Democrat versus Republican. That's been going on though. FedEx versus UPS. Nvidia versus AMD.
Oh, Nvidia AMD is a good one. Okay,
that is a good one. Oasis versus Blur. Sure. Pizza Hut versus Domino's. Taco Bell versus Taco John's. The Beatles versus the Stones. By the way, they were both friends. They were friends with each other. Beatles even included an homage to the Stones on the cover of Sgt. Pepper's. And weirdly enough, we got new Beatles music and new Stones music in 2023. I don't know how that happens.
Don't ask me.
Twizzlers versus Red Vines. Amazon versus Walmart. Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC. D&D versus Pathfinder. Edison versus Westinghouse. Eminem versus everyone. Timmons versus Little Debbie.
Wow.
Nice.
Hasbro versus Mattel. Hot Pockets versus Totino's Pizza Rolls. Corn versus Limp Bizkit. Levi versus Wrangler.
What?
Levi's and Wranglers. Were they ever truly rivals though? Because one,
no, I don't think so.
One of them was you were wearing cowboy boots with one and not the other one. You know, like
exactly. Yeah. Here's the one you'll love: Ludens versus Halls.
Oh my lord!
The great
rivalry.
Can we tell who wrote that? There's no way to know.
No way to tell who wrote that.
Whoever you are, you're amazing, and I owe you a sticker as well because that is freaking great. You're cold.
If you want to prove that you're the person who wrote that, tell Scott the rest of the text that you included with the Ludens versus Hulls. And
Yes,
I won't
that way
say
I'll know
why.
it's you. Yeah. And
Yep,
I'll verify
exactly.
with Brian so I know it's for sure you, and then I will send you stickers. Not just stickers, because that's freaking
Stickers.
funny that you
That's
pick
great.
cold remedies as a thing. That's amazing. All
That's
right.
great. Somebody just wrote "Make up world people's cry cry cry" emoji, and I don't know what that means.
I don't
Make up world people's cry cry cry.
I don't know. People are going through stuff. Who
Let's
knows?
see. Nickelback versus everyone. Paul Simon versus Art Garfunkel. Post versus General Mills. Radio Shack versus Circuit City.
Wow.
Sheets versus Wawa. Taking Back Sunday versus Brand New. Taylor Swift versus everyone. I do like the versus everyone's. The Morning Stream versus Coverville. Oh, stop it, you.
No.
Twitter versus X. Somebody just wrote Van Halen, and I think that's probably pretty accurate.
Van Halen.
Yeah. Walmart versus Target. And XTC versus Adam Ant, which is not just a feud, but also the title of a They Might Be Giants song.
Wow. Whoa, that wasn't supposed to play. I don't know why that played. Hey, that was great. What a bunch of great answers. What a great board-filling time we've had. And one of these two.
Congratulations.
We got a winner.
You're a winner.
Mac Addict, congratulations. Brian will send you a little PM here shortly if he hasn't already. Probably already has.
Doing it right now? Nope. I was too busy reading 1,000 answers that people gave us.
Amazing answers, though. You guys delivered, Tadpool, on some amazing stuff that didn't make the top 10 even. Really good stuff. Mac Addict, how do you feel about your big win?
Wonderful. Thank you, guys.
I can tell.
Hope you're able to see somebody about that addiction.
Yeah, let us know. We'll see you around. Dunaway, it's good to have you back, sir. And we're gonna do this again this weekend when you and I get together for a little Play Retro time. Tell the folks what we're covering because it's exciting.
Absolutely. We're going to be crazy climbers, and we're heading back to the arcade for some crazy climbers. Scott is always talking about this, Johnson. By the way, I talked to Scott Fletcher last night, and he said Scott Johnson is right. And I was like, okay, Scott Fletcher.
Yeah.
But I've underestimated this game because I always saw it as some dumb, what are you doing? You climb up a wall? That's dumb.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of coordination involved with these two joysticks. You have to try to make them move and crap. It's hard.
Yeah.
I will second Scott's love of Crazy Climber and the baby elephant walk music that you will never get out of your head after playing that game.
That thing.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. And the birds shitting on you and everything. And in the Japanese version, you could just toggle that on and off. It was crazy.
Right.
I had a stand-up.
Really?
We had a stand-up one in my basement. Our living room had the sit-down one. And the sit-down one, instead of holding the sticks like this, you held them down like this.
Oh.
And so you had to change up how you would you'd have to get a new feel for it. And me and my friends were always like having this challenge of who could transition and still score high without screwing up because it changed your hand-eye coordination. Anyway, that game's great. I want a digital watch playing it. It's an amazing game, and I have tons of stories about it. It's going to be really fun.
I imagine something you can play it on now just uses dual analog sticks, right? So you can just go bloop, beep, bloop,
Oh, yeah,
beep.
for sure. Although,
I played it with my Xbox 360 controller, which has two sticks, and just use your little thumb there. Go.
It works really well because the emulation is seeing the sticks as on and off and not analog.
And not analog, right? So not slowly on, slowly off.
So you'd think it'd be easy to screw up, but really you just have to go past median for up and past median for down, and it recognizes it. It's really cool. As you can tell, I have some passion for this game. So
heck yeah,
we'll talk about it. That'll be this weekend, Friday, actually at 2:30 Mountain Time. So please tune in and check out me and Dunaway there. Or if you want the podcast version, you can get that at frogpants.com/playretro. Brian Dunaway, I would like you to kiss our butts.
Know you.
Bye. He has such
to know you is to love you.
It's so weird because his morning game show lag is worse than his film sack lag. He has hardly any on film sack, so I can't.
Zero lag in film sack. Yeah, I don't know whether if it's just because I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Yeah,
I don't know either. It's wireless or something. I have no idea.
Maybe.
That was super fun. Great one today.
Yeah.
All right, let us move on to some news coverage here at the news desk. We got news to do. Time for the news, brought to you by
The Wrong Whopper.
Oh, yeah. So, in addition to the dog eating fries and then taking a dump on a pillow.
Said fries out.
Kim brought home yesterday. She brought home some Burger King because the kid was here, and it was just like, well, let's just all get it. So, and I like a Whopper. I'm a fan. I don't eat the fries anymore. I'm done with that in my life.
Oh wow!
I know.
The discipline involved with that is seriously impressive.
I have to. I just can't. For whatever reason, they're my kryptonite. So I get a Whopper. But here's the problem: when I went up there to get it, it was after the show with Greg, and I was starving because I hadn't eaten.
Sure.
So I go up there, and she says it's on the table. I have to go to the dentist. I said cool. So her and Carter are off to the dentist, and I went upstairs, and no one's here except me and the dogs. And this is pre-dog eating the fries. That happened later.
Okay.
I get up there and I see 2 Whoppers on the table, one that's wrapped and one that's laying out with a single bite taken out of it.
Okay.
And I went, well, obviously it's not the one with a bite taken out of it. I don't know what the deal is there.
Sure,
that seems like a wasted Whopper. What are we doing? So I grabbed the one that was wrapped and I start tearing into it and I realize this is an Impossible Whopper. It's one of those Impossible meat patties.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Right.
And I realize, this is Carter's Whopper. So I call Kim.
Oh, no.
She's in the dental chair. I go, hey, which Whopper am I supposed to eat? She's like, oh, yeah, sorry. Carter's is the wrapped one. Yours is the one that has a single bite. Taylor didn't realize it was yours and thought it, said it would be fine. And it is. I don't care. I don't have a cooties problem with my daughter.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, okay. So now I've got a half-eaten Impossible Whopper.
Oh.
But then I ate the whole other Whopper. And then I went, well, why didn't I just eat fries and kill myself like everybody else does? Anyway, it was stupid.
No kidding. Yeah.
It was
you ate half of an Impossible Whopper, so it was impossible to not eat the other Whopper.
And by the way, I will say those Impossible Whoppers pretty freaking good.
They're really good. Yeah.
They're not bad. I can tell the difference, right? You can tell the difference, but it's not a bad difference.
Sadly, because of all the salt stuff they put in there, there's really not a benefit, like a calorie benefit to eating a Impossible Whopper, but
right.
But if you're vegetarian, great option.
Yeah, and if you're trying to, I don't know, I guess just kill less cows, vegetarian style.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what other benefit.
You're still getting a lot of salt, so it's not like there's much of another benefit. But save the cows, eat an Impossible Whopper. Sure.
I'm putting that on a T-shirt. Let's go. All right, here's the first story of the day, folks. We're going to share this one with you. We got a hijacking to report. Hold on to your butts.
Oh, no.
Yep, the hijacking of $339,000 American dollars worth of rare Japanese KitKats. It wasn't us! We used to get these all the time, but we have nothing to do with this hijacking.
Yeah, oh my God. How many Japanese KitKats have we gotten over the years?
Oh my gosh, so many. I kind of miss those days. Those were great. When
I kind of do too, yeah. You kind of blew it for both of us.
What's up, listeners? We used to have a whole segment called
the problem was you said no more shug, and they don't want to just send it to me. They, it's like a kind of both or nothing. So
I'll taste test. I'll taste test your shug, but I don't want to. I just can't sit and eat it anymore.
Yeah.
But I'll taste test it. So if anyone out there's got a weird Kit Kat and you're like, the boys have to try this, we're still down. Okay.
Right.
The hijacking here it went like this: Mr. Danny Tang's 55,000 Kit Kats. That's 55,000 separate Kit Kats.
Insane number of Kit Kats.
Which is actually, you double that. What is that? 100 and no wait, what is that? Because there's two sticks per Kit Kat package. So if you're counting sticks, that's 150,000.
Yeah, it would just be double because it's
it would just be double because it's always
1,000.
Right, it's always 2.
Yeah, always 2. Well, in the Japanese Kit Kats, it's always 2. It's not the 4 you get in a regular bar.
Oh right, we get the 4. I forgot they used to, or that's how that was.
If you get the full size Kit Kats at a convenience store, it's 4, but the little Japanese ones are always they're the perfect snack size. I just want a little bit of a Kit Kat.
Yeah, those are perfect.
2.
What's the one that has always 2? Oh, Twix is always 2 sticks.
Twix is always 2. Yeah,
it's the candy with the cookie crunch.
It's the candy with the cookie crunch, and the left Twix versus the right Twix.
That's right. Those two never get along. Anyway, they began their long, twisted journey, sometimes obscure journey, in Japan. Mr. Tang is the founder of Boxu, a New York company that sells Japanese snacks in subscription boxes. You heard of this before?
I have. I tried one box. I didn't do the full-on subscription, but I was like, oh, let's see what we get in a box of Boxu. And it was cool. I mean, you get a ton of snacks. I was able to to subsist off of one box of Baksu snacks for 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
And they want to send you one of those every month. It's like, yeah, no, that's all right. Especially not for $40 or whatever it was. It was expensive.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask what the price was. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was pricey.
I need those boxes. Those boxes need to have an upper limit of about 15 for me to want to do it all the time. You know, which I realize I'm not going to get shit, right? It's going to be bad.
You're going to get garbage. You're going to get Cracker Jack tattoos and little plastic stress balls is what you're going to get.
I'll go 20.
Yeah,
still not.
So
gonna
you
be
go,
great.
you go 40 for the right thing, like the the sci-fi loot crate. I think is really good. I think that might be the last one I'm subscribed to, and I feel like I get $150-$200 worth of stuff in a $40 box every couple months.
You know how your brain will sometimes latch onto an old memory, and then it doesn't matter how much time passes, that always pops up. This happens every time. So this is a new thing I've never told anyone. So I'll tell you and everyone else in the audience. When anytime someone tells me something costs $20, my first thought is that's what Charles Ingalls paid for 5 acres and a horse on an episode.
House on the Prairie?
Yeah, on an episode of Little House on the Prairie. There was this episode, I just remember it so distinctly as a kid because they said, how much for the 5 acres and the horse? And the guy replied, $20. If you give it to me now, you can take the horse with you. And I remember going, holy shit.
Did he have to take his shirt off, though, to get it? Did Charles Ingalls have to go shirtless?
That's true. Well, he always is in my mind anyway, so it was fine.
He kind of, we've got a friend who started binge watching those, and she says he goes shirtless a lot more than you probably remember.
Yeah. Yeah, now there's talk. There's talk from, was it the lady that played his wife? Somebody said he was kind of nasty on set.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah.
That's a real bummer because we all sainted that guy.
Yeah, I know.
Never saint your heroes.
What was his kind of more religious show that he did in the 80s?
Oh, something from heaven.
Yeah, that's right.
Not heaven can wait. Heaven.
Something.
I'm here from heaven.
Seventh Heaven?
No, that was a similar. That was kind
a
of
different thing. Highway to Heaven.
Highway to Heaven.
Moose.
Yeah. Right, and he kept bringing that dude that was on Little House with him on that show too, the bearded guy,
right.
The big dumb friend. He was also a big dumb friend in that.
I want to come be my big dumb friend on this new show? Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good. All right, good.
Just be here for my whole career, will you, big dumb friend? Anyway,
there you go. So $20 is how we got there.
Yeah, that's how we got there. But the point is, I will always do that in my head. I won't say it out loud, but when you say $20, I go 5 acres and a horse.
Incredible. I'm sure there's stuff like that for me. I'll have to, next time one triggers, I'll have to let you know.
Yeah, because we all have them of some kind.
We all have them for sure.
I do it with if you say 49, I say that's a new 360 game. if you say $2.99, I say that's what I paid for my PS2.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I do a lot of video game money comparison stuff in my head. Don't know why. Just is.
That's funny.
Because I always think that instead of spending it on some food, I'm going to poop later.
Something that you'd have for a lot longer to enjoy. I get it. No, it totally does make sense.
It's a little babyish of me, but I do it.
No, it puts things. If nothing else, it puts things in a frame that you're more associate with value. I think there's something to that.
Yeah, and it could be anything, I guess, whatever you're into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Drugs, maybe. I could say cocaine or
drugs.
Heroin.
Sure. Well, there's that. Yes.
This is a whole 8-ball worth of HOA payments or whatever.
Right.
So here's the upshot of this. This guy, the shipment, which included sought-after flavors such as melon, matcha latte, and Daifuku mochi. Daifuku, I think.
There's another way to pronounce that, but I'm not going to do it.
Oh yeah, definitely don't do that. Cost him $110,000. Wait, no, I'm sorry, US $110,000, right? But they expected to make more than $250,000 in total revenue.
Oh wow.
He says this: you can fit a lot of KitKats into 2 containers. You're not wrong, Mr. Tang.
Yeah, those like we're talking big shipping containers. Yes.
Yeah. He doesn't mean little ones, I don't think. I assume
Little
not.
plastic containers. No.
These particular KitKats will become key players in an ultimately frustrating saga of shell, e-command accounts, phantom truckers, supply chain fraud, and one seriously bewildered cargo freight broker.
It's funny because this is written like it's going to be another documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, I would watch it too, dude.
I kind of would too, honestly. Yeah.
What was that one that
I was getting the music information ready so I can.
No, you're all good.
The next song.
Do you remember the Pez thing, the Pez documentary?
Oh
Didn't
yeah,
you watch that?
that was great.
It's like
yeah,
that.
This would be a lot like that. Yeah,
and those
like
were
the
also
importing Pez's from other countries. Was who knew such a like customs issue?
Yeah, where was the country for that? Was it like that was European?
It was
it's like Prague or something, or
something
Ukraine
like
or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but that was if you guys ever, I don't remember the title. I think we recommended it, but that is such a cool doc. I love that. What weird people. They were so weird. The main dude that lives in the farm with the lady now.
Yes. Oh my God, I'd forgotten about him.
He's so weird.
Right.
Such a weirdo.
You had audio of that guy, but I don't know how you'd ever find it. I can't remember what he said that was so funny that you made a stinger.
Yeah, I kept 2 or 3 of them, I think, in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, good luck to Mr. Tang. Good luck to us on taking a break here. We're going to do that, and we're going to play a song, and Brian has all the preparations right there in front of him. Brian, what are we doing?
I do, and here's what messed me up is that I put our first song as something different. I'm changing that right now because we have 2 covers today, and the reason for that is because our Indie in the Middle is a cover. It's rare that I get a cover sent to me by the labels, by the indie bands or labels themselves, but in this case I did, and it's really, really good. This is a band called Radiobot. It's a dynamic musical ensemble combining Brett Scallions, Billy Harvey, and Eddie Wall. Brett Scallions.
Brett Scallions, yum.
Brett Scallions. This is their next single is going to be coming out next month. It's called This World's on Fire. That is going to be an original. Comes out December 8th. We might hear it on the show. Who knows? But in the meantime, here's their take on the great Bob Dylan's Subterranean Homesick Blues.
Oh, what fun it is to jump
on Pac-Man every day. He could technically not have penile contact with Ovalvo.
I've been holding on to that one for a while. Hey, Brian, what was that song again?
Sure, that's the band Radiobot and their cover of Bob Dylan's Subterranean Homesick Blues. Look out for their new single coming out next month. This World's on Fire. We might just play it here on TMS.
I can't wait for that moment in our lives. All right, let's get one Tom Merritt involved with this thing.
Please, let's be civil. Tom, play us a quick solo to show everyone how hard you've been practicing.
Well, that's what I expect from Tom Merritt. He is here for, per usual, on a Wednesday to talk about the daily tech headlines of the world and fill us in on what's maybe happening a little later on Daily Tech News Show. Tom Merritt, welcome back from Belgium.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah. You had a good time. I mean, we talked to you last week, but everything go well, and
Yeah, no, it went great. I had a wonderful time, and I wish I got to see more of Belgium than I did. But the bit that I saw, delicious.
Probably not a lot of time.
Did you have any Brussels sprouts while you were there?
I actually did.
Oh wow!
Are they fresher there?
The first day I was there, I went into this little deli that looked good, looked very healthy, and I went over to the bar. And I got some pasta and put it in my bowl. And then I was like, oh, my God, there's Brussels sprouts.
Oh,
not. So
you've got to do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Brussels in Brussels. My gosh.
Yeah, I didn't check to see if they were just labeled sprouts. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're back. You've probably been, busy with stuff and getting all back into the swing of things. What's going on right now that you're going to cover today?
Well, usually when someone announces awards nominations, everyone looks at those nominations and says, yep, that is exactly right. We have no criticisms of these awards. But strangely, the recently announced Game Awards have caused some questions, Scott. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, unfortunately, I sure have, Tom. And it kind of happens every year. This year, though, is a very particular year in the industry in that it has showcased some of the greatest games of a decade or more.
Sure.
It's unprecedented how many, A-level games, S-tier games came out in the year 2023. There's also some real stinkers that happened, but nobody noticed them because everything else was so good. So the competition was thick. Some amazing, both critical and audience-favored things happened. And I just knew, leading up to these award announcements, Jeff Keighley's whole thing, it's worse than him with movies. Like, we all get frustrated when our favorite actor doesn't get an Oscar nomination, or even at the Oscars when your favorite movie, Mad Max Fury Road, doesn't win in a crowded room full of other nominations. We know that feeling. But with gamers, it's more intense and more terrible, and they freak out about everything. Mostly they're mad that Starfield didn't make the Game of the Year.
Wow, that is surprising.
Starfield got one nomination out of the entire run of categories.
Yeah, other stuff got 7 or 8. Some got more. It's no surprise, and probably will be no surprise, that Baldur's Gate 3 will end up running away with this. I wouldn't be surprised, and I think it deserves it. Sure. But I am a little surprised to see that not on there. But then there are also some indie titles that don't even make the light of day that were some of the best games this year. There's a game called Dave the Diver, which I absolutely loved. It's this dinky little game. It came out of nowhere, took everybody by storm. Massively popular. People loved it. And it's nowhere near Game of the Year list. And I think that's a weird shame. So their focus on, so I'm starting to be like the people that annoy me, but their focus on, AAA only. And it's all the stuff you know about for sure. And the big names, them focusing on that is the part that frustrates me. But if they're going to do that, it is surprising not to see Starfield on there. That thing was a massive success and critically a little mixed. There's a lot of things about Bethesda games that are Bethesda game problems, and so people just like to have issues with that. But if you like Starfield, you really liked it. So I guess I feel for some of these people that their game didn't get nominated. I get it.
Here's the question though, because psychologically, it is a lot easier to look at a list and say, "Hey, this is missing," than it is to create the list with a limit.
Right.
This happens all the time on Daily Tech News Show. People will say, "Well, why didn't you cover this story?" And it's kind of impossible to explain because when you're making a rundown, it's very subjective. And you're always going to leave out something because you only, you don't want the show to be an infinite amount of time. So it's kind of hard to describe like, oh, well, it didn't do this or it's because of that. Same thing with Game of the Year. What would you have removed from Game of the Year for Starfield? And I'll give you time to think by naming what's in there. Alan Wake 2.
Right.
Baldur's Gate 3. Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
I would have probably taken Resident Evil 4 Remake out of there because it is a wonderful remake, but it's a remake of an old game. Like, they did a great job, and they really did, and like they've done with all their Resident Evil remakes up to this point. They've done an amazing job with it. It's an incredible experience. I played through the whole thing. I'll never play it again because I hate scary games, but it was great. I don't think it belongs on that list as a remake. Maybe that's a separate category, and then you could have included the Dead Space remake, which was also excellent this year. Should not be ignored. This year's full of those kinds of experiences, like amazing remakes, amazing new titles. So them trying to cram all this into like 5 names is a fool's errand. Like in a normal year, maybe not though. So like with movies, they used to do 5, right, for the Oscars, and then they broadened it to 10.
They moved
it up to 10. Yeah.
And I think it's for the reasons you described. It's like it's just too narrow to have only 5. So if it were me,
6,
I would have had.
But yeah, still pretty narrow.
Yeah, I would say put more in here. Give us 10. Give us 12. I think that's reasonable. And there are enough candidates most years to fill that list. And if there's not, fine, cut it off at 8
if you
or
do
9.
10, even the Academy Awards, there's always like, well, why didn't they include this one? And it actually makes it worse because there's more chances for you to pick at something that's on the list because you got 10 to pick from.
Yeah, you're right.
I do respect the sort of like, let's keep it limited. I feel like you just passed the test though, because a lot of times when you ask that question of yourself, you start to look at the list and you're like, well, I mean, maybe I'd pick Starfield over this one, but that one's pretty good. I mean, Baldur's Gate, that one's got to be on there. You went pretty easily right to Resident Evil 4 and made a really good case for it.
Right. And I don't, and again, it's not a knock on the game because it is really, really good. It's just that do we not give another massively new game that year? And what all this tells me though is in the end, what this tells me is that contest mentality kind of sucks. And by that I mean popularity contests.
Yeah,
the idea that if your game's not on there, then you feel personally invalidated as to your choices of what you think should be on there is just not a healthy thing for us, you know? So part of me hates these awards, partly because when they roll around and you see the actual stage thing, it's more of a showcase for new trailers, gameplay footage, announcements. The awards are weirdly secondary. They barely do them. Like they're just kind of quick reads. Sometimes for the big 2 or 3 categories, they have somebody come up on stage. But most of them, they rattle them off, clap a little bit, and then move on to the next, let's call them commercials because that's what they are, another trailer or whatever. And that's all fine. But I think calling it the awards and then us pretending that it's the definitive thing and we better adhere to these are the best, I think may not be great for us as people.
A couple of things there.
Yeah.
One, if you don't call it the awards and just call it the big trailer show, nobody watches.
No, you're not wrong. I totally agree.
Right? Like the awards are the gimmick, and this is true of all the award shows. I don't watch the Academy Awards so much to find out who wins as to see all the trailers and the people and like, oh, I haven't seen that person in a while. Oh, that's a cool clip. Oh, I didn't know about. Like same for the Grammys, even more so. Grammys, you're there for the performances. You almost don't even care who wins, but you need the hook. I don't know why, but we need that hook to be like, oh, but I'm watching to see who wins best of the year, right?
Right.
And the second thing I'll add is I don't think anyone thinks these are definitive lists, right?
Some people do, but yeah, we're not supposed to.
I think if we all sort of agree like, hey, this is just a fun exercise, and it's one way of determining the best, and maybe we agree, maybe we don't, then it becomes a lot healthier and a lot more fun.
I think Free Rangers has it right. I really like what he just said in the chat. He says, all awards are subjective. The only reason I like the Oscars is because it exposes me to movies I may have missed. What wins Best Picture is subjective and may or may not be the best movie, quote unquote, best movie. I totally agree with that. Like
100%.
That's the healthy way to look at this. And then contests can be kind of fun. I just don't like when people get over serious about it. And maybe I'm getting over serious about it.
It's hard not to, though, right?
It's hard not to. I will say this, though. The only reason that Final Fantasy 16 people aren't more up in arms about them not getting nominated at all is because Starfield is taking the stage on who's the maddest about not being.
It's taking the oxygen out of the room.
Yeah. So again, I mean, what we've helped illustrate here is just how insane 2023 is, and also what a contradiction it is. There's been more industry layoffs than we've had in a very long time. In the same year, we've had some of the biggest successes. The overall profitable take by the industry is higher than it's ever been, and yet there's these weird dichotomies, and old games are new again, and new games are the best we've ever seen in the genres they come out in. Like, it's a absolutely wild year for video games. So I guess enjoy it, everybody.
Yeah, and it's a good conversation starter, if nothing else.
Yeah, and Zelda got in there, or Tears of the Kingdom got in there for best thing. Or wait, do you have that on the list?
Game of the year.
Yeah, Game of the Year. It probably won't win. Nintendo people are going to get real pissed. That's fine. You won with Breath of the Wild. It's fine. Okay, let Baldur's Gate 3 win. It actually should win. There you go. That's Scott planting his flag.
You know what's going to happen too? Starfield's one nomination, we shouldn't forget, they did get one nomination, was for Best RPG, but Baldur's Gate's probably going to win that too.
Yeah, because it's in the same cat. I don't know. Yeah. It's all screwy. I really like Keeley, and I like what he's doing, and you know he's single.
Final Fantasy 16 got nominated for Best RPG.
Oh, it's in there too? I didn't realize. I thought I got none. Well, they won't be so mad. They won't be so mad. Well, there you go.
Goodbyes of tea.
We will make some mention of that today on the show on DTNS, as well as many other tech stories. That will happen today at 2:30 Mountain Time. No, 2 p.m. Mountain Time. Tom, anything else going on you'd like to tell people about?
Indeed. I have a new novel, and I'm trying a novel way of rolling it out. So it is about time being broken in 3 places. And it has broken down the laws of physics so that you, through no act of your own, might just experience what they call a K-shift, which changes the fundamental constant of the universe, and you have a 30% chance of surviving that if it happens.
Wow.
So, in order to fix that, they have to go back in time and find someone who they can influence to make a decision to fix it without making things worse. It's called The Moment, and if you're interested, it's being serialized every week, a new chapter at freetomnewsletter.com. The newsletter, of course, is free. The book is not. So if you pay to subscribe, you get the book. Go check it out.
Very nice.
Cool.
Brian, you'll have to read it and give it your time travel.
I will. It's my time travel stamp of approval.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would love to hear that.
He's actually a hardcore time travel critic, let's call it. And I'd be curious. I'd be curious where it lands on the scale. Given
I'm
that.
sure. Listen, knowing where it comes from, I'm sure it's fantastic.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Wow.
Yeah, look, we know the author. He's awesome.
Yeah, but be honest. I would love to know.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's Tom Merritt, everybody. He is Ace Detect on all the socials. Tom, we'll see you a little bit later on Daily Tech News Show. Bye.
You got it.
All right.
Bye.
He gave us a thumbs up. That was cool.
He did.
People at home didn't see it, but we got a little.
By the way, Fazile. We get it. One of these posts, you got to tell me how to pronounce your name. Now it's hi Brian /Coverall. Could you pick on Scott and Mr. Merritt if they are excited for Ms. Universe before he drops off his segment? Thanks to Scott.
Ms. Universe.
Ms. Universe. I don't know. Is that Mrs. Universe? Is that a upcoming thing? Do you work for Amazon Prime? Is this? I
feel like we're getting. Yeah, like somebody who works in the
Hulu's pocket.
What is going on? Very weird. Yeah. I love it though. Keep it up. Let's move on to,
but maybe a little bit less.
Yeah, maybe just tiny, just this much, just tiny.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess he only does it once per guest. So.
Okay, let's see what he has to say for Randy.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Last minute, we lost Nicole. She's got family in town, and she's busy with that, so we will not be talking to her. But we will be talking to Randy, and when we do, you'll know it because it'll be after this.
Well, what do you recommend?
I'll tell you what we recommend, streaming stuff on streaming services, and we have Randy Jordan here to help us do that. Hi, Randy.
Good morning stream. It is absolutely beautiful here today. How do I get to live here? How is it?
I don't know either. I mean, look,
it's not fair.
You just pay a lot of money is what you do.
That's right.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
You live in Orange County where the cost of living is through the roof. I assume it is still. It used to be. Is it still?
Oh yeah.
No?
Yeah. My brother sold a house a couple of weeks ago, a house that he had been in for 20 years.
Yeah.
And we compared some notes and wow.
Yeah.
This was in Texas and damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
The difference between here and there is shocking.
You California people have wrecked us here because we used to have, we were always kind of median on house prices and stuff, and it just cost of living in general. But then during or after the pandemic, when the housing market did their little explosion, a ton of you moved here and cranked all the housing prices up. So now I live in a house that was worth 400, I don't know, 6 years ago. It's now worth close to 950.
Yeah.
But if I sold it, everything else,
you couldn't afford to move anywhere
because unless I went to Mississippi or something
or right. Costa Rica. Like I have a friend who moved to Costa Rica last year, and I've just been watching how happy she and her husband are.
Oh my gosh. Nothing costs anything in Costa Rica. That's great.
Yeah, it's I'm like, why doesn't everybody do this? There must be reasons that everybody doesn't do this.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we're glad to have you here. We're going to talk about this stuff, and we're going to start with Brian because he is the guy we start with. That's just the way it is.
Sure. Let's talk about the stuff. This is so mine is a series. This actually came out way earlier this year, and Tina and I finally got around to getting to it on our list, and I'm glad we did. You're going to hear some people here talking about a mysterious machine that has appeared in this town and what it's doing for people.
Excellent. Why won't it play? Here it is. Let's play it.
Speaking of, you two tried this morpho machine?
Oh my.
Oh, we were just talking about that.
You want to know what I got? Superstar.
Oh.
Is that spooky or what? I was legitimately spooked.
Not spooky as
That
shit.
is scary.
I don't know if you two remember, but I was the first Italian-American goalie in New York Rangers history, and the youngest.
Yeah, how would we not remember that?
Yeah, it's printed right here on the menu.
I was fucking brimming with potential until I suffered a permanent injury to my catching hand while I was deadlifting over 465 pounds.
Yeah, we know the story.
How much were you lifting, though?
But if it wasn't for that, I guess I wouldn't have this place,
Hey.
which is also a lifelong dream. Yeah, so I guess as that spooky machine can attest, superstar can mean a lot of different things, Big D.
Dusty won't try it.
Really? What? Why not, bro? You don't have something that you always wanted to be? Some secret ambition or talent?
Ooh, Dusty is a really good whistler.
Among other secret talents.
A good whistler? Wow. Cass is a lucky woman. And you, my friend, are a very lucky man. What do you think?
Yeah. I think I have everything I ever wanted.
Maybe you didn't want enough.
What?
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
All right. So, so first we got to talk about the people you hear in that clip. You don't get to hear him a whole hell of a lot, but that's Chris O'Dowd from the IT crowd. Basically, he is the Irish Jason Segel, or maybe Jason Segel is the American Chris O'Dowd. I don't know who came first, but two of them definitely the same, cut from the same cloth, and that's kind of why this feels a little bit like ensemble comedy wise. Very similar in style to Shrinking, which was another Apple TV Plus series. You're also hearing Gabrielle Dennis from the Black Lady Comedy Show, but you're one of the most important voices you're hearing there is Josh Segarra, who is we saw most recently Scott in She-Hulk. He was the friend of Jennifer Walters that had that really goofy voice.
Oh, I loved him in that.
Yes,
he was great. Okay.
And the more I see him in shows, the more I think he is just like that. That's not a character he's playing. That is what he's actually like.
I love
and
what
Josh
comes
Segarra
out of his,
is an impossible attractive human being.
Oh yeah,
He really
yeah.
is.
Like,
He's
very
a
good-looking man. That's what's
to be
great about
studied.
him, because he'll do this voice. It's not even a voice he's doing. He'll talk in this
weird
way.
affectation. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll see his face while he's saying it, and you'll go, "This isn't happening in the same universe. Like, how is he doing that? It's crazy."
Yeah, it's so crazy. Anyway, so it's telling the story about a little small town where suddenly in the grocery store, something that looks like a big sit-down Star Wars arcade machine appears, but it's called Morpho. And when you go in there and you give it your fingerprints and your social security number, it tells you your life potential. It spits out a little card, much like Zoltar, that tells you what your life potential is going to be, usually in one or two words. And as you heard, Josh Segarra there said that he got the word superstar. Somebody else got storyteller. Another person got liar in the town, and the whole town sees this thing and for the most part just buys into it completely and is like, oh, this is what I'm meant to be. This is who I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do with my life. And even goes so far as to completely switch gears in their life to go for what this little arcade machine has told them their life potential is going to be. And Dusty,
so I saw the trailer for this and I wanted to watch it, but are you meant to question whether or not it's supernatural or it's just okay? All right,
you are. And it's, I'm trying to think of like what other
it's like big
to say, maybe to compare it to Severance in a way of like that weird quirkiness where there's something weird going on in this world, but we don't know exactly what it is. Kind of in that line. What was the one with Devs? Was another one.
Oh,
that was
I love Devs. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You just mentioned two shows that are my all-time faves. I freaking love that stuff. So
well, and this has that kind of supernatural aspect, but is definitely a lot more on the comedy side than all of those other things.
Yeah.
Severance was quirky comedy. This is kind of in that same vein, and it was developed by one of the guys who was writer and executive producer for Schitt's Creek. So he's got it's got some Schitt's Creek kind of small town the people around the main characters are could have lived in Schitt's Creek as well as this.
It's quirky.
This other town.
Yeah.
Very quirky.
I like quirky.
Great other cast. Patrick Kerr, Damon Gupton, people that you'll recognize when you see them. Maybe you don't recognize them by name, but you get something of a resolution. Although there is a season 2 coming, and it's going to definitely go deeper into what's going on with this weird morpho machine. Quick watch. It's 10, 30 to 40 minute episodes. And it's a lot of fun. Chris Dowd the dude steals the show. He is fantastic. Or Chris O'Dowd. Did I say just Chris Dowd?
Yeah.
Chris O'Dowd.
When he's in America, he drops his O's. It's fine. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
He does.
Did I actually say the name is the Big Door Prize? I think I did. Enough people in the chat room. I might have done a shitoutofluck.com.
I think you did. I didn't think you said it either. Yeah.
I don't think I ever said the name of the show. It's the Big Door Prize. It's on Apple TV Plus, and renewed for a second season. So you will get a continuation of the story if you're worried about seeing this mystery show that's kind of got a lot of layers to it. There is nobody in this show, no character in this show that you don't kind of fall in love with, kind of like Schitt's Creek.
Well,
I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott.
I was just going to say you've completely convinced me about a thing I did not know existed until today. So
that's what I was going to say. I'm so impressed by how Apple is putting together these good things and then hiding them and nobody knows.
Yeah.
I had a friend who just suddenly started blogging on Facebook the other day about all the great things on Apple. It's like she discovered it. Like it was this thing that what's this, Severance? Oh my goodness. There's a lot of people out there who they don't pay attention to the Emmys basically at all.
Yeah.
And so they just don't know. And Apple is killing it. And I wish there was more awareness.
Yeah, they're having a moment. They seem to be. It's all quality over quantity, which is nice. They're also,
really
although they just had a recent price hike from $6.99 to $10, but I still think it's absolutely worth it at $10 a month.
It sure is. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's things in there like everyone knows about soccer show.
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso,
Yeah,
that's as ubiquitous as you can get. But beyond that, I don't know how far people have been digging, and there's just really good depth there. It's really good.
And Tina and I won't use it as a recommendal because I think I recommended one of the previous seasons, but we're part of the way through the newest season of the morning show, and it reminds me so much of the Newsroom and how much I loved that show, Jeff Daniels and God, it's a great cast on that. Very similar in its like, hey, here's a topic, here's a thing that's going on right now. We're gonna talk about it, like we would if we were delivering the news every day, or if we were putting on a morning show every day.
Is that an Aaron Sorkin joint or no? I can't remember.
It isn't, but it feels like it should be.
Yeah, I love that style. So I've never gotten into it. I was still mad about the TMS thing, but
I know. You've really got to get past that.
And I want to argue against the phrase "everyone knows about Ted Lasso" because I've just witnessed an acquaintance who subscribed to Apple TV for the first time, started watching things, started talking about them, posting a ton. She still hasn't seen Ted Lasso. To her, it is just some soccer thing. She's not interested in some soccer thing.
Really?
And I'm telling you, it's because she's not connected to all of the vetting that's going on in the world that's screaming at you. Here are the best shows that everyone should watch. She doesn't get that. Yeah. So she's just going along, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look, Apple TV. I'm going to watch. And she really liked For All Mankind. That's great.
Oh, that show's so good. Yeah.
That's good too. A new season of that just dropped too. It's like, I could subsist just on, if it weren't for FilmSack and needing to have these other networks, I could probably subsist, and that's the second time I've used this show, on just Apple TV. Someone got a word of the day calendar, on just Apple TV and Max, and not need Hulu or Netflix or Prime or anything like that, because there's so much good stuff coming out on both of those.
I agree. It's a really good combo to have.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. It's called The
Big Door Prize. It's on Apple TV, and it's excellent. It's heartwarming, sweet, kind of compelling, sci-fi, supernaturally kind of stuff, and it's great.
All right. Very nice. Randy, let's go. Oh, I don't have a clip from you. Do I? Do I have a clip?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
I don't see a Randy. Oh, there it is. Shit. All right. It's buried in my email. Hold
That's
on,
all right.
everybody.
This movie doesn't have any dialogue, so there's no clips.
You know what? This movie does have dialogue, and I just want to say I captured some of the very beginning of the dialogue, and then I went and cut out a bunch of spaces because it's very slow dialogue.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's still like it could have been a silent film. Like thinking about it, this dialogue is not super important, but I got you 30 seconds so you can get.
All right, here we go. Let's play it. Whoops.
Consider yourself lucky if our paths never cross. Except luck isn't real, nor is karma, or sadly, justice. As much as I'd like to pretend these concepts exist, they just don't. One is born, lives their life, and eventually, one dies. In the meantime, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. To quote someone.
That sounds kind of killer.
What?
All right, so tell us
I'm
about the
laughing
killer.
at myself because I clipped that out like to make it like way more important than it really was. Like it just sounds all of the dialogue in this movie is super self-important. It's like very, very serious, but it's not what you're used to with assassin stories. Like there's a lot of movies out there where your assassin is a philosopher and they're just talking about everything they've learned and all their free time. This is not that, although it is like objectively what you're meant to see and hear, right?
Right.
This is The Killer. This is David Fincher's new movie. I want to be really, really clear. I am not giving this my highest recommendation. There are all kinds of reasons you might want to not waste your time on this movie. It is violent. It is it is very simple. This is an extremely simple movie, almost to a point where you start asking, is Fincher trying to make a point about simplicity? Like the character actually says it. It's kind of like to simplify life, right?
Right.
But Michael Fassbender is your assassin for hire. He is in a network, as they always are. He has a boss. He has colleagues, kind of.
Yeah.
And he has a girlfriend back in Caribbean island, and things go wrong for him right from the start, and then he proceeds to address all of his connections. It's, like I say, the most straightforward movie I've ever seen. It's beautifully shot. You could talk about a lot of stuff to talk about this movie, and I don't want to like sit here and sack the whole damn thing. It's like you could talk about just the music in this movie because it's very carefully crafted what music you hear and when. This character has a thing for the Smiths, I guess.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, it does.
And there's just like you could talk about the cinematography. This movie is shot lovingly. It's a beautiful movie to watch. But overall, the thing that I'm trying to say is it's not really a David Fincher movie. David Fincher has made this thing. His big cookie cutters are not all over this movie. It actually feels like I spent a lot of the movie going, is he going to go John Wick? Like, because I hope he doesn't go John Wick, and he never does. So there's like it's self-aware, know. But like John Wick is about the glory of battle, and there's really only one piece of combat in this whole movie. And it's a real good piece of combat.
I read something that said that the movie is the best Hitman game to film we're ever going to get that isn't actually called Hitman. Like they adhered, some of the tonal aspects of it adhere to what that game series, especially the last 3 games, did, and they can never seem to get a good Agent 47 movie. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I like stories about hitmen and that sort of thing. But what you're describing is a little more not dour, but I don't know, less.
It's a very serious movie.
Yeah.
But it's not so serious that it like bores you. There's a lot to take in at all times. All the problem with assassin movies is always that you don't get to find out much about the other characters because they all get knocked off. This movie takes the pleasure of identifying one of them for you and letting her talk.
Yeah.
And it is a shockingly good sequence.
Okay.
Oh, it's the best few minutes of the movie, without a doubt.
All right. I'm in.
It's like I got to the end of this, and it's Tilda Swinton. She's really the only female in the cast. I got to the end of that sequence, and I just went right back to the beginning of her going into a restaurant that she.
Oh, really? You watched it twice?
Yeah, and I watched it
scene?
again because honestly, I wanted to catch some of the words and phrases. I was so busy, like, this movie really envelops you in what you're seeing, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like a Christopher Nolan movie in that way, where it inserts you into his, his feeling at all times to a degree that you start missing whatever else is going on around you.
The trailer gave off those vibes. Like it felt like it was Memento era kind of film or whatever. But I love Fincher, so let's go. I'm in.
It'll remind you of a lot of stuff. It reminded me of Nolan's Insomnia. Of course, it has to remind you of John Wick. And like I say, I love that this movie goes out of its way to not be John Wick. Yeah. You never find out the name of the main character. Like it's as non-Wick as it can be. Except this one time he goes and gets into a fight with a guy called the Brute. And then it has a moment of John Wickiness.
Yeah. I'm all in on that. Gosh, and you both saw it. You both third thumbs up on this one, eh?
Yeah. Okay. And I'm very much with Randy. It's very good, and right away if you're going to like it or not, if you like these kinds of things. And if you don't typically like these kinds of things, violent films, again, I don't want to call it slow either, because it's not. It's paced. And if you don't like those sorts of things, you won't like this. But I think just from knowing our audience, a majority of our audience would like this.
All right. Now he can go back to giving me some Bill Tench closure and finish Mindhunter. Gosh dang it. What the
wasn't there talk a couple months back that he was considering that?
There's some rumblings, and my fingers have never been so crossed. Like I love that series so much.
Whose Kickstarter do we need to back to make that happen?
Exactly. You can't leave Bill Tench on the bed with a note from his wife and not give me another season.
That's right. Give us the BTKFC killer, whoever he is.
Yeah, I need all that stuff to get closed up. So hurry up.
What I want to make sure I say about this movie is that it is not a big thing that you're going to remember for all time. It's not a movie that you need to watch every year for the rest of your life. So get your expectations about it being this simple thing. It's very entertaining, but don't worry about it being important. It's not in Fincher's top 5. It's not meant to be.
Right.
It's a celebration of directing, acting, script, cinematography, weird pop music. It's all of that stuff without it doesn't have aspirations to be Zodiac or The Social Network or my favorite Fincher movie is The Game. It doesn't even have anything like that in this movie.
No 7. There's no sense of a 7 in here, because 7's like the one everyone thinks of, right? That's his big
It's kind of bloody like 7, but really that's I think that's kind of as far as it gets.
Yeah.
But even to the degree it's bloody, it's very, very measured. It is not draped in dripping blood. It's you have bloodiness in spots where it has to be, and it's supposed to get your attention and kind of shock you a little bit.
Yeah. Mine's Fight Club, and there's similar elements of Fight Club in this that I like, but it only because it has to have those elements.
Did you know that David Fincher's very first direction work, and we all know he did a ton of music videos. That's not a mystery, but his first one, 1984, Rick Springfield with Bop Till You Drop. That was his first thing. Wow.
Amazing that he got hired for Alien.
Yeah,
wow.
No kidding, right? And that's about the point. That's the point, right? In 91, he finished up with George Michael, and then Alien 3 happened, and then bam, all movies. Much.
Did he do that? He did that black and white Freedom 90 thing with all of the supermodels. Am I thinking of the right thing that he did with George Michael?
Freedom. Oh, let's see. He did. Freedom 90. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And before that, Madonna's Immaculate Collection video, Express Yourself, Oh Father, Vogue, all that. Yeah, he worked with like big shots and then immediately started doing movies. And I personally really like Alien 3. I know I'm in
I do too.
a weird group there, but me and Brian.
You're not in the minority on this show, Scott.
Nope.
I want to say one more thing about The Killer. This is among the many movies that you've seen in your life where the whole thing hinges on your main actor, your lead, really the only character you get to know in the movie. And I want you to know he really does stand up to this. Like I remember the first time watching John Wick, I remember there were people who were like, Keanu isn't he can't do this. Like he's not gonna carry this, but he does. Michael Fassbender absolutely carries this. You desperately want more of him doing this. I'm just saying that it's not like set up to be a big series or something. It's just he could have gone. It could have all gone wrong, and Fassbender holds it all together beautifully.
Well, he should get. So now, all right. So he's done this. Get back to Mindhunter. Get back to Love, Death, and Robots. Get back to the things that I love you for these days, and let's go. All right, I've got a thing to recommend that is on Hulu, and it's a documentary that I just randomly bumped into, thought I would watch. It partly came from for some reason on this show, JFK from Oliver Stone comes up a lot. I don't know why, but when we're in recommendals, it just comes up. Randy's brought it up a few times. I have
because it's unreliable. It's like
very
it comes
unreliable.
up because it's an example of someone telling a history and putting a bunch of conspiracy theory nonsense into it.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
And it's so well made and so well acted and so well executed that it pisses me off even more how much dumb shit is thrown in there. But it's an amazing film from all of the technical and artistic points of view. And so I just think it's a weird one and it's fun to talk about, right? Well, I was thinking about that because I ran into a documentary on Netflix that might be related. So I'll play the clip and then we'll talk about it.
Talk about being a gambler. This guy had what the Spanish would call cojones. There was a breakfast that morning, and I think there were about 2,000 or more people there. And President Kennedy really wanted Jackie to be seen by everybody in Texas. Texas was such an important state. He felt that with Jackie along, he would do better.
Well, he was right. So that is the voice of one of the Secret Service people in charge of keeping, in this case, Jackie Kennedy safe. But you hear from a couple other surviving agents that were on the detail for the president, and then therefore were all together running around the outside of that car in Dallas when he was shot. And it's not just from their point of view. They go back basically the whole documentary series, and it's a series called JFK One Day in America is the name of it. And it's a really good look back because they take all the surviving people, and these are people they're on their last breaths. And no offense to any of them or their families, but there's no way these people live much longer. They're all very, very old. The one guy from the Secret Service, not him, but another one, is all hooked up to oxygen for his interview, and he looks like he's maybe got a week or something. I don't know.
We're at 60 years, right?
Yeah, something like 60 years. These guys would all been in their 40s back then, so they're up there. And I'm really glad they did it because I like when you can get the remaining witnesses. I like this about Ken Burns' World War II documentary because it was all as many as they could find, people that were still around, that were there on D-Day, that were there in Iwo Jima, and like all those sorts of things. This is like that. And they speak to everybody from a fellow employee that worked with Oswald at the bookstore, at the book depository. I'd never heard of that guy before or even knew anything about him, but he had all kinds of interesting stuff to say about Oswald. It is not a conspiratorial documentary in any sense. It's not about that at all. It's 100% here are people talking about what they witnessed. There's a famous photo of a lady covering her kid on the lawn after the shots rang out. And it's almost as famous as the Zapruder film. You'll know it if you see it, but she's covering this kid. Well, that lady is still alive. She was like in her 30s then. She's in her, I don't know, close to 90 now. Mm-hmm. And she tells the story about her and why her family was there in the first place. And anyway, it's just a really good historical look back on the events that happened that day and what people actually saw. And I was very compelled by it. It was really good. Again, It is called JFK One Day in America. It is a short series on Hulu.com.
And you reminded me, Randy, that 1 week from today is the 60th
anniversary.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe they tried to coincide that. I think they were just trying to hurry up and get these people on before they died.
Sure. Sure.
It really did have a feeling.
It's probably a combination of the two. Yeah.
It had a feeling of like, hurry up. These people aren't going to be there much longer. We'll take the camera to them. Whatever you got to do is kind of the vibe you get.
Whatever you need. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good though. Quite good. If you're interested in that kind of history and sort of thing, go check it out. And all of these will be up on quicktms.li. They're already there. All right.
They're already there. Quick recap. Big Door Prize on Apple TV came from me. Killer on Netflix came from Randy. And JFK One Day in America came from Scott on Hulu.
Nicely done.
I'm going to watch it. I always watch anything that's kind of about Texas, like the Texas I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm definitely going to watch it. Because my grandfather was a small town mayor, he knew John Connolly when John Connolly was governor of Texas. This was long before my time, but
sure.
So my grandfather would, talk about the assassination of JFK and how, after Connolly's surgery and his recovery, that they went to, the governor's mansion to visit him and this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm just always really, really fascinated by this stuff. And
yeah, I think you'll like it. There's a lot of focus on Texas too in the documentary about why, there was a lot of opposition to Kennedy there. But there was also really, really heavy support of his views. And so it was harder for the Secret Service and other agencies to suss out what risks were actually there. They get into all that. And whether they should have known something before it happened. So one guy in Oxygen just basically takes the blame for the whole thing. He's like, I should have stopped that bullet. It should be me who's dead. And he still has all these regrets. And the dude's pushing 100.
Well, I haven't watched it yet, but there's also a brand new Lady Bird Johnson documentary on Hulu that I'm right on the cusp of, and I'll let you know next week.
Yeah,
it's
let
awesome.
us know. A whole documentary about Hank Hill's dog. I can't wait to hear it.
But she is such a towering figure in Central Texas, and no one else in the world knows about her.
Yeah,
and of course, I think she was circumstantial to this assassination, of course, and I don't know. It's just strange to me that these are all coming out at the same time.
Yeah, it's real good. So go check it out. I think Brian's right. It probably is to sort of coincide with the anniversary. But I find that stuff fascinating. You might too. So do check it. And all these things we talked about today, that's going to do it. Randy, this has just been fantastic hanging out with you today. I hope that your day is just full of joy and, all sorts of positive repercussions.
I hope that your day in your $1 million home goes really nicely.
Yeah, my $1 million home. I paid $340 for back in 2013. Yes.
I'm looking forward to talking to you on Saturday about Swiss Army Man.
Oh yeah. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing this movie. So
me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Having not seen it, and now
I don't even know much about it.
I don't either. I know the one thing that I said on Film Sack. Oh, is this the movie with ... where he's ... and that's all I said. I know.
All I know is it's the directors of Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is kind of compelling. So
there we go.
We shall see. We'll see you then. Bye, Randy. Bye, Randy.
I'll hit you up in Discord, but get me cover art for it, and I'll put it in the Discord.
I'll do it today. I've been trying to do that earlier, and I keep forgetting unless you guys.
I didn't even think about it until just now myself. So
that is going to do it, except for a call, and this call is a final call of the show. It's about Bowie. One more Bowie call.
David Bowie. Yep.
David Bowie and his fantastic career. Ziggy Stardust. Anyway, here's how this caller defines that word or says it.
Hey, Scott and Brian. This is Owen in the Boston area. You might see me online here and there as ZCam. I'm just calling about the pronunciation of Bowie versus Bowie. I'm in the Boston area, and there is a local band up in Gloucester. Now, that's Gloucester, not Gloucester or Gloucester. But their name is Yui at the Bowie. And if you're not familiar in the Boston area, at least, when you take a U-turn, you don't take a U-turn, you bang a Yui. And that's what their name refers to, Yui at the Bowie. It's spelled U-E-Y at the Bowie. So I just thought I'd add my 2 cents, and that's how we pronounce it around here. Have a good one. Bye.
Awesome. That's great. Greg for Walkman, can you confirm? You're in the Boston area.
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever taken the Yui at the buoy?
Yeah. I actually
In
haven't seen him in chat in a while. I hope he's doing good. Anyone seen, is he in there today? Anyone see Greg? Check in on Greg.
I didn't see him in there today.
I miss Greg, talking to Greg.
Yeah.
Make someone check on Greg. Can we get a wellness check on Greg,
Make
please?
sure, thank Greg for Walkman.
Yeah, please. That is going to do it for today's show. I would like to say a quick thanks as we head into the mid part of the month to our patrons.
Right smack dab. It's the Ides. It's no better time than to think about your patrons and do something. Join a new Patreon if you haven't before.
That's right. We're at the hump part of the thing, so hump it and get us $1. That's what we need. Over at patreon.com/TMS, all those benefits are very lovingly displayed on the site, so you can go just read it and see what's up. That's patreon.com/TMS. Why is there a dog under me? Oh, hi, Ripley. Hi, sweetie. Different dog, but she'd be happy to puke too. So who knows?
Yeah. All dogs are happy to puke.
Puke and poop. They're into it.
Just say the word, they'll do it.
That is going to be it for the show, though. Brian, let's play a song. You got a little something? There?
I do. We talked about her a little bit earlier in the show. This one comes from Monica, who is celebrating a birthday today.
What?
Let's party.
Good Lord. You know what? She gets both.
Happy birthday.
Just, because she's turning older. It's fine.
Exactly. And she, poor Monica, our episodes for the last 3 years have not landed on a show day. I mean, her birthday has not landed on a show day. Our episodes always land on a show day.
Sure.
Dear Skin and Bones, if you're reading this, it might be my birthday, so time to take inventory. It's been a pretty good year. I have a lovely partner, wonderful friends and family, and I'm part of some fantastic online communities like this one. Gore is going great, and I even guested on one of my favorite podcasts like 4 times this year, and they haven't told me to never come back yet.
Oh, well, they'll get around to it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
It's fine.
Anyway, I believe I'm entitled to one song for aging a year. Can you please play Gypsy Woman by Stolen Gin, ADLR, and Different Hits? It's such a chill cover, and I'm hoping for a very chill year to come. Love the show, though, even though I'm not Nicole. Signed, Monica/Wicked Kitten.
That's true. She's definitely not Nicole.
That's right. Well, happy birthday, Monica. We love having you be part of the show, the community, the couch parties all the time. And this was a cover that I was unaware of. I knew of the original by Crystal Waters, and I had another cover in my library, but this isn't a song you hear covered a lot, and it's called Gypsy Woman. Sometimes it's called Gypsy Woman La 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 La.
Really?
Again, it's by Stolen Gin, ADLR, and Different Hits. And it's going out to Monica.
That's fantastic. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new edition of the Thursday show. So be here for TMS tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you then.
Get more at frogpants.com.
How many languages do you speak?
1. I speak 1.
Yeah, and not very well either.
No, I'm barely holding that together. You can't be adding Japanese or Korean or something else to me. Forget it.
All right, what are you talking about?
What are you, insane?
Let's see if we can read some titles.
Yeah, why not?
Our knowledge of the English language allows us to do that.
You guys have excellently posted a bunch of them.